it is time to talk about Paldean Fates, and clearly, Pokemon wants us to just embrace Gen 9, whether we like it or not. Psst. Hey, can I tell you a secret? Did you know if you go to our sponsor, CardinalGaming.com, and look in the search bar, you can actually find stuff? Look at, oh man, what? Oh, this Metroid stuff. Wow, look at that. That's pretty cool. And then what else? Look. We still have hoodies in stock, too. Check it out. Sorry, skinny folks. Big boy sizes only. But check it out. If you want to support the store, support the channel, that's the best way to do it. Search for stuff and buy it. CardinalGaming.com. Okay, bye. Hello, everybody. Mason here, Cardinal Gaming. Appreciate you clicking on the video, supporting the channel, supporting the store. You guys always do, and I appreciate you for it. Isn't this cute? Little backdrop here. Little Dragonite hanging out back there. Little Paldea backdrop for us to talk about Paldean Fates today. And boy, do I have some things to say. I'm way behind because people already made videos on this stuff, but I have thoughts. So let's go over it. Let's talk about it. Let's go to the website, justinbasil.com. Not my favorite website, but an awesome website to show what's coming up around the bend for the next set. You go to what's next on the little top here, then Paldean Fates, you go to visual set list, you can see all the cards in a visual set. The best that we know. And obviously, it came out in Shiny Treasures in Japan last week, so we already know pretty much what's going to be in our set. Typically with these, they're pretty similar. So, I have a nice little visual set list here. Lots of great, cute cards. Most of these are things that were cut from previous sets for us in English. So we kind of get the backlog of stuff coming from Japan, kind of catching up to what they got going on. This Haunter looks beautiful. Look at this Haunter. A little cutie. Look at him. And Gengar, also great. But nobody cares about that. Let's go down. We're gonna go down here to all the baby shinies. Obviously, baby shiny set. Not to be confused with the kind of formulaic things that they do with these specialty sets now. Obviously, at the end of a generation, they do something like a Crown Zenith, or what they did with like Cosmic Eclipse. Ooh, man. Hit you with a bunch of stuff kind of just as a going away present, little send-off that at the end of a generation. Obviously, we just started a generation, or at least we're a year in now. Jeez, that's kind of hard to believe, but here we are, right? So, shiny sets are going to happen. Now, tons of shinies. Like, this is just a ridiculous amount of shinies. Like, so many. What is it, like 140? Something silly? A lot. There's a lot of them. Obviously, I'm blowing past them, but everybody has one. Pretty much everybody has one. A lot of, mixed generations in here, but most of it is Gen 9, and that's what we're seeing with the, I guess, appropriately named Paldean Fates, because it's a lot of Paldea Pokemon. A couple of different gens. You got Wigglytuff, you got Kadabra's got a little shiny. That's the first shiny for a Kadabra in a TCG that I'm pretty sure. I haven't messed that up, but just, Pikachu, you got your staples, but for a large majority of these things, it's a lot of Paldean Pokemon, and something different, something kind of unique here. With specialty sets, of course, the purpose of them is to kind of like throw out some reprints or some redesigns, some remixes of things that already exist, kind of give the meta staples and things like that a chance to kind of recirculate and kind of get back into the market, so that the prices for these types of expensive cards don't get out of hand, they don't go crazy. But in this set here, we're in an interesting state in Pokemon right now, because obviously these baby shinies are way better than what they used to be. They used to be just very static. There's a lot of actions, a lot of movements, a lot of just awesome little angles and things like that we typically don't see. Look at that little Charmander, look like just showing some expression here. As I said, just like a straight on thing. A lot of them are doing like little swipes and attacks and things, other than just like little static poses, which we would normally get. Awesome to see. But, after last year with Crown Zenith, phenomenal set, beautiful cards, just anything and everything that you'd ever want out of like a specialty set. It is a little lackluster. Shinies are great. They're cool. In the game, they have a nice tie-in with the game. How difficult shinies and things are to get in the games, and they give you a little unique design. But as we scroll through these and see, there's a whole lot of baby shinies. Baby shinies meaning the cards with the whole actual card frame of this. We do have some full art shinies, which are these guys here. Not a whole lot, just a handful. If you think of like Hidden Fates I think had more than this even. But you know, again, specialty sets. They're supposed to be reprint sets, so you are going to see the Gardevoir, you're going to see the Mew, you're going to see the Pidgeot and the Squawkabilly. All these cards, not all of them, but the right hand side here is very strictly playable stuff that a lot of people are going to want to have in decks and play with. Again, the unfortunate thing though is though each and every single one of those has an alt art or a SIR in English, and why would I play a shiny when I could just play? If I was going to go for a different rarity, a full art shiny is not what I would go to. I'd get the alt art if I wanted to go and bling up the deck, and even like the shiny Alakazam there. There's a fantastic, beautiful card for 151 with that Alakazam on it. A beautiful card. I'm not going to play this shiny, more than likely. I'm just going to go get the beautiful alt art from 151. So it's kind of a silly... We're in a silly place with shiny sets because they just seem like they're not... They're very cool years ago, but we've advanced and we've seen... we have drank from the ever-flowing chalice that is alt arts, and this just doesn't hit like it anymore. This is like it's like drinking a Coke all your life, and then somebody gives you a tab. Nobody wants to drink the tab after drinking Coke for all their life. This is just not up to snuff compared to what we're used to. But that being said, we do have a lot of great. I say a lot is not the word that I should be using. We do have some great art rares in the set. These are probably all things that you guys have already seen. We got Wig Trio doing their thing. This Palafin. People hate on this Pokemon in general. Palafin's cool. For a long time, we've wanted a dolphin Pokemon, and Palafin at least has something unique and cool and different about how he looks. And then this here is the Venom shiny version of him. It's a great card. It's cool looking. People do like this Pokemon. I don't know why Palafin in particular gets so much hate. It's a great Pokemon, and it's a great design. Now, these SIRs, again, SIRs are the things that normally have texture in sets. So we have the Mew EX. I mean, say what you want about the Mew. A lot of people love this type of style. Think this card's super, super cute. We got some Digletts up on the hill. We got, all Gen 1ers here on this card. Little cartoon crayon style. It's cute. Fantastic card. The Gardevoir, absolutely just on another level. In person, this card is going to absolutely slap. I love the little Wooper in there with his little shocked face in the background. You got your little Patsy here in the you have your little cameos like you would expect in a SIR. This card's fantastic. It's going to do great. And then the Charizard here. Of course, another shiny EX Terrestrialized Charizard. Sure, why not? Throw it in here. It is a fierce looking card. It is very awesome. So, not a whole lot of hate that can be shown to this card. It's just, we have just so many versions of this card now. How do we spread the Charizard equity across so many cards at this point? Obviously, this will be the sought after one, but yeah, it's just it runs a little thin at this point. So we have full art supporters. Again, a weird set in that there's no items, there's no reprints of playable things. Again, Crown Zenith, you had Ultra Balls, you had Lost Vacuums, you had the cutesy design drawing version of those cards. None of that is present in this set. There's no items in this set at all. There are a couple supporters. Clive is a new one. I think this is Students of Paldea or something. Whatever it'll be in English, we don't know yet. But a couple of unique cards. Judge is a playable card that's getting a reprint, which is okay, cool. Nemona's finally getting some time in the spotlight here. People say they hate these Pokeball, these SIRs. I think they're great. I think they're cool. It does have like a weird little cute tie-in where they're all, matching here. This penny is absolutely fantastic. Very nice looking card. And then even this Clive, you can't hate on this Clive. This is a great card, a great looking card. Is it going to be cheap at release? Probably. Is it not a great card to play? It is not. I'll assure you that. This is not going to be a played card. But does it look fantastic in a binder? Yes, it does. So a very cutesy card. And then you have the Iron, which is definitely going to be, this and the Charizard. And I can see the Penny doing well as well. Are definitely the chase cards of all these sets. Fantastic pastel looking colors. Very awesome design. A lot of these, like neon and pastel colors in these past couple sets here recently, and it looks good. Really, really striking when you look at them. So it's really, really good. And then Arven is a card that is seen more and more in play, but you can never have too many Arvens. You get your pick of which one you want to play, and this one is definitely a cool looking one. So, and then you have these gold cards. Now, I have some concerns about these gold cards. I do have concerns as they have the darker lines on these cards. They have these guys here. They have these little ridges on them, and that's a raised texture. We will see what it does in English and if it's a problem. But there is some instances where having a very clearly like heavy texturing going on, and if you're maybe shuffling cards or shuffling your prizes, things like that, where these ridged cards could potentially be felt through a sleeve. We'll see when we get them. But this is going beyond what is just normal texturing on the SARs. If it's raised above even something like that, we'll see how it feels. But I do have some concerns about being able to feel these through a sleeve. Maybe while you're shuffling, maybe while you're shuffling your prizes, and then you go back to put your prizes down into play. We'll see how that goes about, and if that's something I'm just freaking out about for no reason or not. But and then you have the energies, the gold energies, and that's all. That's all we have for the gold energies. Is the only other hypers that we have. Again, no items, nothing crazy. And these are all the cut cards from the promos. The Iron Treads and the Great Tusk and the Charizard are going to be the tin promos. And then all the starters have their own boxes that they come in. And then these have 3-pack blisters. These little smaller baby shinies. So that's the set. That is what we have. A little light on the top half for a specialty set, I will say. But what's here is it's okay. Is it fantastic? Is it a good follow up to like a Crown Zenith? Maybe we got spoiled a little bit. But if you compare this to something like maybe Shining Fates, I don't know. I kind of like these cards better. There's more variety. There's better unique things for this. They're not all just reprints and things like that. So it's hard to say, right? But as far as like a desirable set to open up to chase some cards, to a lot of people do like to just collect all the baby shinies and get them, and yeah, they'll probably be. There's so many of them. They're gonna be cheap and hopefully fairly plentiful where people can, if they want to have all the shinies, they can. But what's the main takeaways here? What's the main talking points of this set and how I think it's gonna do sales wise and overall? Let's talk about that. The major concern that I have is just how obviously by the set's design, it's very Paldea focused. Paldean Fates. They didn't mess around with the name. They made it very, very clear that we are moving on from Sword and Shield. We're done. That's over. We're moving on. And it's Paldea time. Paldea time. That's what they're basically saying. Other than the judge here, there is nothing being carried over from any sort of Sword and Shield set. And that's a little weird, a little concerning, especially considering that the back half of Sword and Shield is still going to be standard legal going into next year. There's, Brilliant Stars and forward are still going to be set legal and playable. So that's a weird miss, because there's so much stuff that in those past couple sets that don't have art rares and don't have things that you could take advantage of. And it's interesting that they chose to not feature any of that at all in this set. They could have. Let's go to the vlog setup and look at Paldea again while we're here. There's nothing that's preventing them from reprinting those cards and making, we don't have a Battle VIP pass, even though it's rotating. They could have made a gold version of that, and that would have been fine, a cool card to do. But there's so many more. Switch cards are going to be legal for a little while. Things like the main mechanics of Lost Box. Cramorant. Cramorant is a good playable card in that, and that doesn't have any sort of art rare of any kind. There's lots of opportunities had they gone back and went to the back half of Sword and Shield, and it's a weird take that these cards are going to be in standard and very playable, but in this specialty set, there's just no representation at all for those past couple sets. It's very, very weird. I think of even further, like they could have done so much with the Radiant cards. Radiant cards are still staying in the format. Radiant Greninja, Radiant Charizard. Radiant Charizard had a reprint in Crown Zenith. It did, but what a great opportunity it would have been to have something like an SIR of a Radiant card, which we haven't seen yet, or a Radiant of full art or SIRs of those cards. That would have been great, and really been a great, cool thing to see. So, very odd to see that being absent from this, which should have been a great opportunity to have that kind of stuff in the set. So, why am I so blurry? Here, focus. There we go. Cool. Just a couple things that I just noticed that would have been cool had they put that in the set, and I don't know why they didn't. What else I got on here? This feels like what next year's set should have been. As we move away and completely leave Sword and Shield, this would have been a great little thing to focus on and feature all those guys. I didn't talk about any of the products, but all that information is out there and the waves and things, and I could also do a breakdown of the kind of numbers and things that I'm going to be receiving once I get those. Still early yet to get those, but we'll of course go over that whenever I get my numbers back. But having a Paldean Fates with a Mimikyu featured on the box again, that's a weird thing, because Mimikyu is a Sun and Moon Pokemon. Just odd. I love the promo. The promo's great. The box itself looks amazing. Like, it's probably up there as with one of my favorite ETBs ever made. And I love Mimikyu too, so it's a cool Pokemon. But just a weird choice. Just weird that you're not pulling anything from the past except Mimikyu. Very, very odd. What else I got on here on my little notes? The lack of reprints of playables and things that are getting expensive and have been seeing lots of play absent in this set. And it would have been nice to see, some golds and things from the Sword and Shield, are the Scarlet and Violet boxes that we have been missing. There are quite a few. So it really does feel like that Pokemon is force feeding us into this Gen 9. Whether you like it or not, this is what it is. We're moving on. And I think that is just blatantly obvious here when this set and how it's designed. Let me know, guys, what would you have done for Paldean Fates if this was what they wanted to talk about and focus on? What would you do? What would you come up with? I'm interested to see. I appreciate you guys clicking on the video. I'm trying to get back into doing things. It's December. Just had Black Friday, so it's just a busy time of year for our game store, but do have a lot of things that we want to pump out and kind of do differently with the channel, kind of evolve and do different stuff as we kind of ramp up our online presence, just in general. So hopefully you guys will be on board for that. Interested in thoughts on that as well. What would you like to see? I would love to see that. Let me let me know, guys. Jeez, I gotta go home. I've been here way too long, obviously. So appreciate y'all. We'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.